Alright, so I've rolled the dice again for a new fleet. This time the battleships are even worse than the other two times. Displacement of the battleships are the same as the ones with the armored cruiser. Armored cruiser outpaces the ship by 25%, and they're short-ranged, and they only have 10-inch guns. These are not acceptable designs for me. Heavy cruiser, not too bad, but I don't like 7-inch guns as main armament for armored cruisers. And the fleet is very top-heavy. 2 battleships, 4 armored cruisers, 1 light cruiser, and 2 corvettes. I mean, this is ridiculous. So the light cruiser has heavier armament than the armored cruiser. Oh, it is, no. Yeah, I'm speechless. It's just crap. So what you're going to do is I will improve the dock size by 1,000 tons, which taps on my resources here, monthly balance. I will push the research to the max I can, which is 12% of my total budget will be allocated to research, which taps in here again. I will give priority to guns, ship design, damage control, and fire control. If I give too many high priorities, it doesn't even matter. Research is random. I get to tell which area enjoys priority, but I cannot tell I want 8-inch guns or I want 13-inch guns. It's just RNGesus giveth and RNGesus taketh away. So I cannot tell which one will be the next, from which tech tree basically there will be advanced technology, nor can I tell what exactly I get. This gives a little bit of randomness, which is cool, but can be frustrating. So, doctrine, I go for gunnery and torpedo warfare. Night fighting, between these two, to be honest, it's a throw of a dice, because at the moment torpedoes are not the equalizer they will be. So no point in investing money here, theoretically. Night fighting only obviously applies if you have a night fight. So gunnery is always useful. Night fighting, torpedo warfare, it's circumstantial. Here you can define the loadout, what ammunition to use against what targets, with what caliber guns. I never touch that. It's just, I leave it as it is. So we have ample funds. Let's see, what do we have under construction? Okay, not much to write home about. So going to design a battleship. Our local yard can only build ships up to a displacement of 10,000 tons. However, we can ask another nation to build our ships for us. The obvious choice would be Great Britain, because they're the most advanced technology-wise, plus they have the biggest shipyard together with Italy, but Italy is behind in technology. So Great Britain, wouldn't it be for a hidden perk, or rather a negative perk they have, which is design flaws. It can happen that in a battle your ship blow up if it's built by Great Britain. That happens to the British themselves as well. So I'd rather not trust the Brits with my ships, so I take France. And I say, okay, give me something, suggest me something. Yes, so North Dakota class battleship, 12-inch guns. Yeah, that's something I can stand behind. How about we want 2 guns per turret? Can we go 13? Let's stick with 12 for the time being. Secondary guns, 8-inch. Tertiary, 6-inch. It's a little bit anemic. I go down to 4-inch guns for the tertiary guns, and I go down to 6-inch guns, but more of them for the secondaries. I want more ammunition for the main guns. 18 knots, I suppose, is fine. Oh, that was too much. So now I have the sweet problem. The ship is too heavy. So let's look at the gun data. It's impervious to my own caliber guns at any range. And the maximum penetration is 1 inch on the deck and 7-inch on the belt. Okay. So it means I can comfortably go down here to a 9-inch belt. Oh, far out. Okay. Belt. Let's go down to 6 here as well. The deck. Let's take 1.5 because the deck takes a lot of weight. The turrets we can also go down to 9. Secondary guns, let's go down to 2 inches, 2.5, 3. Okay. I leave some space here because as soon as there's better fire control available, this takes up additional space. So I do not want to redesign the whole flipping ship because I want to have a better fire control. Yeah. I don't want torpedoes on my battleships. Useless. Which also saves us some. Medium range, normal engine priority, normal belt coverage. Yeah. Should we give the turrets a little bit more? Yeah, I give the turrets a little bit more. So that's fine. So let's give it a good check. Smaller than 6-inch double mounts. Okay. So we give single mounts for the tertiary guns. So there's no. The secondaries are in turrets, whereas could put them into casemates in order to prevent a penalty on the rate of fire. And 40%, I think it was, it's a little bit hefty, especially if they are meant to fight destroyers or torpedo boats approaching our battleships with torpedoes. Try to avoid that. So yeah, that looks good to me. Save and finish. So this will cost me 3,500 and take 3 months to present me with the blueprints. I say yes, sir, and advance a turn. And we design the next ship. We could design all the ships in one turn, but you always need money to give the order to produce blueprints. So this is why I fan them out. So armored cruiser Pueblo, main guns 8-inch, I prefer 10-inch. Secondary 6-inch, that's fine. Tertiary 3-inch, that's fine. 20 knots, yeah, they can keep the torpedoes, that's fine. So this one I will build at home. And at 7,600, I think that's okay. What does the gun data look like? So, except for point blank range, I should be golden against our own caliber guns. And sometimes calibers of the other vessels are smaller anyway, so 130 rounds per gun, I think that's sufficient. Let's give them the order to make the blueprint. I'll give another turn. Captain Thomas unassigned, which means he's not captain of a vessel, he's in the pool to become a captain. He's average skilled, but is a rate of fire enthusiast. So apparently he abandoned his wife and took a mistress. Scandalous talk of the capital. And now we can say we cannot tolerate scandalous behavior that will sully the reputation of the Navy, have him cash it, which means he's out of the pool. Or just say, yeah, well, man be man, but the prestige will suffer. I don't give too much about prestige. And this guy is at least average and probably has a higher rate of fire, or crews under his command have a higher rate of fire, which is certainly something you want to have. So let's turn a blind eye to his scandalous behavior. So, and now last but not least, let's look at a light cruiser. We will build that at home as well, Cincinnati class. No, I want 6-inch guns. I do not want any secondaries. I do not want any tertiary guns. I do want more turrets. And I take all the turrets there are. (20 knots speed, that's fine. Medium, normal, that's okay. 3-inch belt, 1.5-inch deck, conning tower, turrets, turret top, secondary guns, looks all good. Again, unless we're fighting at point blank range, our ship should be able to withstand the fire of one with the same armament. To note is also the quality of the 6-inch guns is already better. If you look at the 8-inch guns, which it was originally equipped, these have only a range of 8,816 yards, but have higher penetration. So short range, higher penetration, but if we go to the 6-inch, they have 300 yards more range. But of course, because the shells are lighter, the penetration is not as good. But the light cruisers will mostly fight merchant vessels and, at a later stage, destroyers, which have no armor to speak of and very little to none gun armament. So you can also switch on the turret arcs, but this design is fine for me. Yes, it will take 2 months. So at the moment I'm running the fleet at a profit, which is no wonder looking at the vessels we have available, the amount and quality of the vessels we have available. Yeah, I will get rid of them as soon as I possibly can. Once a turn. North Dakota is ready for construction. Okay. Since there was no breakthrough in technology, I do not want to reconsider because that only delays the delivery of the vessel. I'm going to get 2 of them, which will run me into a negative per month. You could of course enter manually names, but I always go for suggest, which is, I do not need to think what I want to name stuff. So the North Dakota and Oklahoma are now laid up in France, and they will be finished in 28 months. Yeah. And we run a negative 800 budget, which means we have 5 months before we need to come up with solutions not to get in the negative. Austria-Hungary doesn't like us anymore. Again, no technology breakthrough, so we're going to order another 2 Cincinnatis, and now we're running a negative. And of course the heavy cruisers as well, so we run 1 the Pueblo. So now what I can do is, I do not want these ships anyway, so I'm going to scrap. This has 2 benefits. First of all, I get some money back for scrapping them. Not much. And also these 800 per month are gone. So scrap that. And the New York class, scrap them as well. And the Baltimore, scrap. Yes. And the New York class we don't want either. So, which means I bought me 5 months. Now, what else can I do? I can put the whole fleet, with the exception of the colonial forces, to reserve. Yes. So, which also lowers the monthly maintenance. However, the crew quality suffers. However, at the moment we have only fair quality anyway, which is the maximum skill level they can get when they are on reserve duty. So that's fine. Now for the colonial, you can see the Rochester and the New York are in the Pacific, and they're protecting our colonies here. We need 4,000 tons of shipping. In the Northern Pacific, we have 6,300, so we fulfill the minimal requirement. Central Pacific, we need 6,000 and we have 6,300. So you need to be aware that you need to fulfill the foreign stations, otherwise there may be appraisals and funny things like that. Another point of note, these values 9, 6, 4 and 0, these are point scores. This is an abstract which they use to check whether you're blockaded by the enemy in case of war or not. A battleship counts for 9, an armored cruiser for 6, a light cruiser for 4. So the only advantage of having dirt cheap, shitty battleships is that they give you 9 points at relatively low maintenance costs. and can prevent a blockade. But yeah, I'd rather have, you know, ships fit for a fight and a little bit less of them, and risk being blockaded rather than the opposite. Okay. Here on the right hand side, see our relation to other nations. So at the moment, Austria-Hungary is not our best friend. Spain don't like us very much. The crowds neither. And with the others, we're still fine. So we just got worse with Italy, Spain, and Great Britain. But with Japan and Austria, we're on better terms now. Also, we need to pay attention to the French tension, because they build our ships now, our battleships. If the tensions get too bad, they will stop building our ships, or even, confiscate them if we should get into a war with them. So at the moment, I will do my level best to avoid any tensions with France whatsoever. Let's do a save, just for good order's sake, and advance a turn. So Japan has laid down a new armored cruiser. And of course, the French are on strike. Well, that's my interpretation. So the North Dakota's delivery has been delayed. And Britain, for whatever reasons, don't like us as much as they did before. So let's advance another turn. There's been a political murder in the Balkans. So I chose that. Reason for that is it gives me more money, it gives me more prestige, and it heightens the tensions, which tensions normally means more money by a roundabout way. The more tense the situation is, the more people are willing to spend on the military, the more budget we get. Yeah, you get the gist. So Germany has laid down another battleship of the wetting class. The Brits have increased the naval budgets, allegedly. And our scientists report that I have nothing to report, which is just fine. So we build up a cushion here. The monthly balance is going better and better. Yeah, I could consider to pull some of these vessels back into active service, but I'd rather not. I'd rather wait till at least one of these ships is built, preferably the two light cruisers, and then take it from there. The Cubans rally against the Spanish, which is a pity. So Spain has problems with us. So I don't mind going to war with Spain. Of course. So they're now approaching war level. The war level is this thick black line. You can hover above it. If the tensions drop, then the next turn or the turn after, you may avoid war. But as you can imagine, the budget for the army or the military and therefore the navy are severely increased if a crisis is imminent. So I'm all for it. Let's mobilize our ships so that they get some time to train up to our standards. So nothing happened, so let's advance another turn. Yeah, now some tensions went down again, that's fine. Again, the Balkans. The history has a habit of repeating itself. Tangent plus 1, tangent plus 1. Let's blame Spain. Yeah, that's a pity. Cuba is now independent, which means I cannot snatch Cuba from the claws of the Spanish because they're now independent. I can only, let's call it, liberate countries which belong to another power, one of these. If they're neutral countries, I cannot invade them. I can only invade possessions which are under control of one of these powers. So, pity that the Spanish got their ass kicked, because Cuba would have been within reach. And now they're angry at us. Yeah, well, maybe you should have trained better. Let's advance another turn. Now the docks are completed. We can now build ships up to 11,000 tons of displacement. Okay, our scientists are not very competent, it appears. So I will again give the order to increase the shipyards, to increase the size of the shipyards, which costs me a monthly amount, but we have the money to spare, and it takes 12 months to build, so I'd rather do it now than wait, and then I don't have it in time. Just a sec. Okay, here I needed to sneeze, I'm sorry. So yeah, at the moment it's pretty uneventful, also to do with that our scientists seem not to be able to make any breakthrough whatsoever. So I'll try to advance. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to enter technology sharing with a company in Spain. Of all countries, why Spain? Is this advisable? No, it's not. Spain is behind in technology. We're at the brink of war with them. So I'd rather not. Early gyroscope, I think this is for the torpedoes. Yeah, we just overstepped the line for war. Let's see whether they have the guts to do it, whether they have the cojones, so to speak. 15 knots, Russian battleship, 18 knots in the belt armor, 4 inches. I mean, mine is faster, but has the same armor. It's not worthwhile spying with the Spanish. I could hire some spies, which is not my main problem. But Spain is behind in technology. See, they have undeveloped shipbuilding. They can only build ships of the size of 7,000, and they're average. So, yeah, they have more ships than we have. I mean, who doesn't? But yeah, it's just, I don't think I can get anything from them which would be useful to me. But oh no, let's design. I want to build ships, and I want to build some more corvettes. Let's make 6 of them. It takes a year to do them. The reason why I invest in these now, they will do the trade protection, and I only have 2 of them. So this is something I should have done earlier, but you know. After a naval visit by Japan, you're asked a journalist. This one is a no-go because we give them praise, the Japanese, and our prestige suffers as well as the tension. This is a neutral, and here we can piss off the Japanese, which gives us more money. So of course I go for that. And advance a turn. Spanish still have not found the courage to declare war on us, which is good, which buys us more time to build these flipping corvettes. Yeah, same. We're still running a profit. I've built up a nice cushion. So, and now the people in Washington realize the threat that the Spanish pose to us. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And decided to spend more money on the Navy. And of course they don't get anywhere and then they suffer a setback. I mean, come on. They're moving backwards. We're probably back to, Men of Wars by that time. Yeah. Don't report setbacks. I want to see results, gentlemen. So now we run double the profit than we did the round before because the government decided that we need to build more ships. Old news, and it doesn't get any more funnier than it was before. So we caught. Oh, we witnessed some scandal from dignitaries from Italy. So we used to embarrass them because more tension, more money. So what do they? Another 3 months till the first of our cruisers comes off the slipway, and 5 months till the corvettes are finished. Well, fingers crossed. I do not compromise with the fucking US. Oh no, we go for South Korea. So we took possession in South Korea here, which pisses off our Japanese friends. So what I will do is I go to the ships in service and I will send the Huntington. Move ship to Southeast? No, that's Northeast Asia, isn't it? Oh, I need 14,000. Oh, Lord. Yeah, well, then send the Brooklyn as well. Yes, it is Northeast Asia. So, where are they going to? Yeah, that's fine. So now I have the problem that I have a lack of tonnage on foreign stations. What I can do now is I put these two battleships to foreign station. But battleships, they don't count with their full displacement. Oh, that's a fuck up and a half. Okay. Well, since they're anyway in upheaval, I will. Yeah, well, I have no choice because we don't have ships. I didn't expect them to be that needy. So we send a battleship, of course. So I have now the Cincinnati. She's working up. No time. You go to foreign station. And then the two battleships go to foreign station. And with that, we should satisfy. Or maybe not. Yeah, let's do these two. They don't count either with their full. Now, okay. Now I face a two-front war with the British and the Spanish. With the British, if I can help it, I wouldn't like to go to war with. I need to be more careful with my decisions. I will increase the dock size again. Yeah, let's not. Oh yeah, with the French. Oh fuck, that was good that the tensions with the French went down. Ships under construction. Yeah, we need to keep it on for another 6 months. So corvettes. So the Spanish are supporting the rebels in Southern Korea. That's interesting. We can do the same sometimes with this random. So where are my ships now? One is in the Mediterranean, no, in Northern Europe, going to the Mediterranean to Northeast Asia. And one is in the Indian Ocean, going to Southeast Asia. So I think they were both stationed on one on the west coast, one on the east coast. So yeah. Yeah. As long as it's only Spain, that should be fine. So let's pull that back into active fleet. This one, active fleet as well. No. For now, let's take one of the new cruisers to foreign station. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so now I need trade protection. Yeah, okay, so let's look at. So I have a one light cruiser. Let's see what we can do. This is the tactical map now. We spotted the ship. So weather is cloudy, we have a gentle breeze out of the north, which I think helps us in this instance because our enemy is to the north. So our smoke from the chimneys, from the smokestacks, goes behind us, so we don't impede our sight to the target. So how far out is that? 27, yeah, probably 20,000 yards distance. This is one of our new ships. Cincinnati class. Yeah, I think it is one of our. Yes, indeed. Yeah, let's have a look on 2 ships. It's already not good because we don't have destroyers yet, so these are at best 2 light cruisers. It's 1 light cruiser. Navarra class. So let's look at the ships. Can I? No, I can't yet, huh? Yes, I can. So she's faster than I am. She has more torpedoes, but I have the heavier guns. Yeah, this is not necessarily a fight I want to get into. So Boston is a little bit, would be the closest port I can seek shelter. Yeah, let's try gun it, go for squad max, and hope that their guns are as bad. Oh, their guns are worse than mine. This is the gun range. This inner circle here, and this one is the torpedo range. So we should be able to avoid it, especially since now darkness falls. We landed a hit on one of the vessels. There's another hit on the Navarra. Did we suffer a critical hit? Yeah. We only suffered 1 hit so far. No flooding, no nothing. So we should be fine. Turret is hit but not penetrated. If it's penetrated, there's an asterisk next to the text. One of our turrets has come back into action. It was probably jammed. And they're coming too close for comfort. I can't outpace them. I hit the Navarra. We never know whether the hits we land do any damage. We only see by their behavior, for example, if the rudder is jammed or something like that. So our hull is hit, it penetrated. Let's look again. We have a little bit flotation, but the flooding has been stopped, so still fine. Let's do this. Ah, they're fall behind now, which is nice. Make port. Are there any objectives? No. Oh, come on. Accelerate the hull. Yes. So let's look at that. So we made a little bit more damage to them than they did to us, so that's a win for us. But yeah, it's a very minor. Marginal victory. Close. So, and now I put these on trade protection. So yeah, I think I'll stop here for today. I hope it was of interest, and have a nice one. Bye.